folks, Professor Blowers here. Really excited to get started on you with Microsoft Word. And so here's our first grader assignment, 1G educational website. We'll of course start by typing, but I want to show you on Word first. We need to enable editing if that's not available to you. And one thing I'd like you to press first, and we're on the Home tab in the paragraph group. Now this should be familiar if you speak the language of Excel or PowerPoint. You see the tabs at the top, the groups down here at the bottom. Go ahead, and this is the paragraph button. It's the show hide button actually, and a shortcut. So go ahead and click that so you can see a lot more insight into what you're doing. And then go to the layout tab up at the top. Have a look around. Looks great. Click on the view tab up at the top. And in the show group, you'll see right here, it's called the ruler. And I almost always have this on. You have grid lines that do this in Word, and a navigation pane, which I think gets in the way. Make sure that you toggle your ruler on and go back to the Home tab. And what we'll do is we'll type in capital E, educational websites, and press enter. Now, spelling is really important in Microsoft Word, and what I'll do is down here I'll zoom in by pressing this zoom in button so you can see better, and so that we're being efficient with our workspace. These over here are our margins, our top margin, right? And we can make all sorts of changes, but first what I want to show you is that it's important to type exactly what it says on the grader. So anytime you see something in blue, that means type something, right? So we need to, let's have a look around. These things need to be typed in. And as we scroll down and eyeball the end of this assignment, we have 19, really 18 steps. And so I'm really looking forward to getting this done with you all. But let's make sure that we go ahead and type this in before we insert some text. So go ahead back to the Word document. Make sure it's the right one. And we'll type in Sturgeon Point Productions is offering website tie-ins with every educational video in our catalog, comma, at no additional cost. I'm going to misspell cost because what it does is it puts this red line underneath. You can right click it if you make a spelling mistake, and that is definitely not the word I want. I know how to spell cost, but maybe I do something like that. I click here and it says, hey, costs are costed. We'll change it to cost. We'll go ahead and type in period. I'm sorry, that's a comma. Period, space, and let's go ahead and insert that text. I'm excited. Let's make our way to the Insert tab, and over in the text group, and notice where the cursor is blinking. Insert tab, in the text group, there's an object button, and we'll select text from file. I'll navigate to my downloads, educational website, and it's this one, W01G Education. You can double click or press insert, and now all of that text has been inserted into our document. And so now that we've finished this step and the first one, I'll go ahead and highlight it to mark the steps that I've completed and move on to step number 3. We're going to change the line spacing for the whole document to 1.5 and spacing to after 6. All right, we're really getting into it, hey. So let's jump in and select the text. And so what I would do is, instead of clicking and dragging, just Control A or Command A if you're on a Mac. You also could click here and drag all the way down to make sure all the text is selected. We'll go to the Home tab in the paragraph group. Go ahead and select this paragraph settings button. Very handy. We'll change the line spacing right here to 1.5, and we will, what else are we doing in here? Changing our spacing here after, let's move that to 6 points. Perfect. Go ahead and click OK, and notice how our line spacing has changed, and you'll see that all of these dots are actually spaces whenever you press the space bar. You can toggle it off just by clicking this button right up here, Home tab, paragraph group. But we'll leave it on for now because I think it's really helpful with formatting. All right. So let's jump into it. To each of the 4 paragraphs, we'll apply a first line indent of 0.5 inches. And that's why we turned on the ruler, right? You see 1, 2, 3, 4. All of this is in the imperial or American inches. You can change it to millimeters, but for the sake of this class, which is in at Bellevue College, which is in the United States of America, these will be inches. It's about 2 centimeters and change. I'm fluent in both. If you need help switching these, just let me know, and I'll get that changed for you. But we want to change that again to 1.5 inches. Oh, we've already done that. First line indent of 0.5. All right, let's hop to it. And here's where the tab button on your keyboard is going to come in handy, because what you'll do is click right here before sturgeon, press tab to indent it. Hey, that's my job. As educators, click right here where my cursor's blinking, press tab, scroll down to, let's see here, educational websites, perfect. I'm looking for when submitting. Here we are, perfect. Press tab, and after additional information right here, press tab, and we'll go back to the top and select right before educational website. We'll check the instructions. We've done it. Each of the 4 paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, and 4, have been indented to 0.5. Let's actually check, and that is indeed right up here at 1/2 inch. So that's the ruler I'm looking at up at the top. There's 1 inch, that's 1/2 inch, and that's exactly where it has landed. So we can mark this as completed. There's 5 points. We are 10% of the way there. On to step number 4. Change the font size of the title to 50, line spacing to 1. Alright, so select this right here, and either right here or up at the top, we'll go ahead and change the font size. You can type in 50. And then what it's asking us to do afterwards is to change the line spacing to 1.0. And let's learn a handy shortcut. So we need to center it. So you can, hover over here to center and click it, or click Control E to center that title right there. Excellent. We'll keep that title selected. And with the title selected, what we want to do is we need to change the typography and the line spacing to 1. Any sort of line spacing is going to be in your paragraph settings here. And go ahead, change the line spacing from 1.5 to single. Single would be 1. Press OK so that the text moves up. I think it fits a lot better. Then in the Home tab paragraph group, let's have a look real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, in the font group, there's a button called Text Effects and Typography. We're looking for this second one right here, blue accent color 1 shadow. Go ahead and select it. We've got our title. Let's figure out what we need to do next. But that is worth 10 points. That was a quick one. For 8 points, click at the beginning of the paragraph below the title. And then we insert the picture WONG Media. All right, excellent. So below the title, beginning of the paragraph, right below the title, right here before sturgeon, insert tab, and let's look for, let's see here. There's a lot going on here. We're looking for photos. Pictures is in the illustrations group right here. And we'll go from this device because it came with the downloaded files. We'll go to downloads, educational website, and the one we're looking for has got to be media. So I'll double click it this time to insert the picture. And we've got a picture format tab and all sorts of new options. So we need to change the picture height to 2, layout options to square. So this is the height over here, the shape height. Go ahead and change that to 2, and it'll automatically change your height and your width at the same time. Back to the instructions, we need to change the layout options to square. Alright, so with it still selected with the rotation handles around the picture, go to Picture Styles group. We're in the Picture Format tab up at the top. Right here, pardon me, I didn't mean to click that. I'm going to close out of there. Click Picture Layout, and we are looking for the square one. We'll go to a different layout options, and that's here on the picture. That's this button right here. And we'll click it, and the one that we're looking for, text with wrapping, there's our square just right here. And notice how the text wraps around the picture. Though we still do have some changes to make. We're going to format the picture with soft edges, and 10 point. You'll find it right over here, pardon me. We'll go to, let's see here, picture effects, and we'll go to soft edges, and 10 points going to show up right there. Excellent. So we still need to make a few changes, but that's how we apply that effect. Now we're really going to dig under the hood for step number 6, all right? So with the file open, there's the picture. Go ahead and click. You can click on, click off, click the See More button. What you're going to want to do is align it right to the margin. So go ahead, click Align right relative to the margin. And then vertically we'll align it, click Alignment. We're going to align top to the line. Top to, there it is, there's the line. And we're in business. Make sure that your screen matches with mine before you click OK. And notice how it changed. Notice how we can now read the text and it fits pretty well with our document. So let's go ahead and have a look at the next step. So we've done step number 5. I'll go ahead and mark that. Step number 6, horizontal right to margin, vertical to the top of the line. There's 4 points. We've completed step 6. So we've got to select the 5 paragraphs beginning with historic and ending with quizzes and apply check mark bullets. All right, historic through quizzes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so select this chunk right here. And here's our bullets, home tab, paragraph group. These are the bullets right here. I believe that just wants the standard bullets. Notice what the show more does with the bullets and the arrows right there. Let's make absolutely sure on the instructions though. Checkmark bullets, that's not the one. Okay, checkmark. So these checkmark bullets, if you click this little drop down right here in our bullet library, I wish they'd change the name of these to like dots or something less violent, but here we are, just an idea, Microsoft. Click the check mark right there, and so you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets with the check mark, and that should wrap up that step pretty neatly. And Mac users, you may have some different things. Feel free to format it as you wish, and Mac users, if it marks you down for whatever reason, I can give you the points back. Just get creative with it and make sure that you are keeping it professional, all right? So for 5 more points, below the bulleted list, click after the colon and press Enter to remove the first line indent. So below the bulleted list, click after the colon. That'd be right here. Press Enter to create a space right in there. And remove the first line indent. Click after the colon, press Enter. Type a numbered list with the following 3 numbered items. All right, the title in which you're interested. So go ahead and press, or just type in 1 right here. It was the title in which you are interested, I believe. Press Enter, it automatically puts in a 2. One of the most handy things, I think, in Word, right? Hey, I got it. The name of the class and subject is number 2. The name of the class and subject. Press Enter, it automatically puts in number 3. Last thing to type for 5 points, online tools you would like to see created. Alright, my mom's a typing teacher if you're wondering how I got to be such a fast typist. So let's go ahead and select all of this. Mark step number 8 as done. And with the insertion point located at the end of the numbered list, insert a SmartArt graphic. Alright, at the end of the numbered list. So let's go back to right here. There's our numbered list. That's exactly where we left off. That would be the Insert tab. And here's all of our SmartArt right up here in the illustrations group. Let's take a dive in. Ooh, I got sun in my eyes. And let's insert the basic chevron, alright? So it says, sorry, I'm one step ahead of you. Make sure that your cursor is right here. And Insert tab, go ahead and click on SmartArt in the illustrations group. And the chevron, our basic chevron, as I look around, would be in the process group. And here it is right there. You hover over it. Basic chevron, press OK. We'll change the text, so click in and type in view. Pardon me. Click over to the next chevron and type in interact. Click over to the next one. We'll type in ASSESS to assess. We'll click off the SmartArt and back into this area so that the whole thing is selected, not just, not like this, for example. So click off, click back on in this area, and we're clear. We'll go to the SmartArt Design tab, and we are going to try some different, layouts. So go ahead and click right on in here. No, let's change, those layouts are fine. Let's change colors though, and the one that we're looking for, that looks much better. Alright, so colorful range, accent color 4 to 5. Perfect. Go ahead and click it, and we're on to the next one. Let's change up the style though, have a little bit of fun with it. So go ahead and what we'll do, and we're still right up here, click on the More button right here on the top right, and notice I press Control and that happens. Okay, select this, and we're going to look for Flat Scene, which would be this one right here, and I think that looks excellent. That's a great way to describe that process. We'll go ahead, we'll click that, check the instructions once again. We've done step number 9, we've typed in everything there, so I'll highlight it. Step 10 is we were able to change it to Flat Scene. Now we need to change the height and the width to 1 and 6.5. So go to the Format tab up here with the chevron still selected, and the numbers again back were 1 and 6.5. So over here in the size group, 1 and 6.5 right there next to it. There we go, because that's the perfect size for our chevron right here. We need to then make some changes to, we need to make the layout square, horizontal, align center to page, so that should be in here. Yep, with text wrapping, square, perfect. And let's see if it's still in there, and that is square. Let's click See More to see what all is in here, and we'll see if we can center it to the center of the page, or if I'm in the wrong spot. Yeah, I got in too deep. I got to get out of there. Hang on. False alarm, got to trust my instincts. So we'll go in. We are in the right spot. Go ahead and click Alignment, and we're going to align it centered relative to the page. Centered relative to the page. And then vertically, we'll align it from the bottom to the margin. From the bottom here, relative to the margin. There we are. All right. And then you can go ahead from here, click OK, and it didn't do a lot. It moved. I think it looks a lot better. Let's zoom out to see how it looks with the rest of it. Go back to the instructions and make sure that we mark it and gain those 10 points. Great. So what we want to do for step 11 is we're going to be introduced to dot leaders. And keep an eye out for one of the smaller buttons in Word. So go ahead and follow my mouse, my cursor, and scroll down and select the text that I have selected at the bottom, which is our schedule, Monday through Saturday. Click and drag, select all of this right here, and up in the very top left, right here, hover over this, it says left tab. Click this button one time, hover off it, hover on, it says center tab. Click it one more time, hover off, notice the bracket directions changed, hover over, that's a right tab. Cool? And that's time for you to then bring your cursor over, and what you're going to do is you're going to insert a tab right close to just below this 6-inch mark here on the ruler. Click, and notice now you've got your schedule on the left, or the day of the week on the left, and you've got the time on the right. And again, I'll take off the Show Hide button, because this is what's happening under the hood or behind the scenes, so you know what's going on. So I find that handy. I'll go ahead and keep it on. Now's a good time, Control S, or File Save your document. And back to the instructions. Dot leaders at 6 inches. We've done it. There's 4 points. On to step number 12 in the middle of page 2. Let's insert a shape. That's a fun one. You're going to turn your attention back to the ruler, because what we're going to do, and make sure this is still selected, where you dropped this tab stop right here, right tab, hover over it so it says right tab. I need you to quickly double click right here, 1, 2. So it opens up this tabs dialog box. Select the 6 right here, don't add a new one. We're going to make an edit to this tab stop. Make sure that it says right, and then we'll change the leader to 2 right here. And then I need you to click on set before pressing OK, and notice the change, right? Notice the change. Let's have a look here, and let's have a look. Goodness gracious, where are we? I'll be back with you in a sec. Let's not forget to insert that shape though. So let's go ahead and go back here and go ahead to the Insert tab, Illustrations group, click on the Shapes button, and we're looking for a rectangle. We're looking for rounded corners. So go ahead and select that, and we can draw it. Let's just go ahead for now and put it right here. We can change it anytime we'd like. Now we can change the height anytime up here. Shape Format tab, Size group. We'll go ahead and change it to 1.5 by 6.5. And I press tab, I type 6.5, and we're good. And again, we can move it. I'll go ahead and just drag it over to the center right there. With it still selected, we'll go to Styles, Word Art, or Shape Styles actually. No, not that button. This one right here, and we're looking for this second one, Color Outline, Blue Accent 1. Alright, so let me lead you back into familiar territory. So what you'll do is, with the shape still selected, click Layout Options on the side, click the See More button as we've done before. Horizontally, we're going to align it center relative to margin. Vertically, we're going to align it centered relative to the margin. Alright, they're the same. Make a note of that. Go ahead and click OK. And scoot down. And hey, that's where we put it. Swell. Let's see here. Shapes Gallery, second style. Just want to mark that we've finished step number 12. And we've done this part of step number 13. So now in the rectangle, we're going to type Sturgeon Point Productions. Okay, excellent. Capital S-T-U-R-G-E-O-N, Point Productions. Back to the instructions for a direction. We'll press Enter. Partnering with educators to produce rich media content. Okay. Partnering with educators to produce rich media content. Assuming the titles are all capitalized. I could be wrong. I am right. Though the W is lowercase, so if you don't want to get marked down by MyLab IT, go ahead and correct that W to a lowercase w. And then change the font size to 16 for the both of them, and we'll be on to step number 14. We are cruising. Alright, so Control A to select all the font. Home tab, font group. Did it say 20? 22. Alright, and then it says center the text. So 22, we can go ahead and up that to 22 and text. It appears that it's already centered. Never hurts to make absolutely sure. We can mark that as done because it is. 8 more points in the books. We'll use the position command to display the layout dialog box. Alright, onto it. I'll get so excited I lead you astray. So this is actually meant to be size 16. We are now on step, and what I'll do too, we're on step number... We have finished this step indeed, though we are now on to, we have not finished this. We're going to insert a text box at the very top. Alright, so that's changed. Go to the very top of the page, scroll up to the top of page 1, right up in this area, insert tab, go ahead and look for the text group, and in the text box button, click the drop down, and we're going to draw a text box. And we'll just click in this area. Just go ahead and click. We'll change the height. So shape format button or tab, size group change the height to 0.5 by 3.7. Press tab, 3.7. And from there, you can go ahead and type in Sturgeon Point Productions as the title. Font size of all the text to 22 and center it. Perfect. Control A, Home tab, text group, change that to 22. Center it's in the paragraph group, or you can also press Control E, I do believe it is. So on to the next step. Now we can actually officially mark that as done. We're going to display the layout dialog box. Alright, we've been there before. Now let's align it center to the page by clicking this button here. That's our layout options button. And go to see more, as we've done before right here. Pardon me. See more. And we're going to position the first one. It should be familiar. We'll align it centered to the page, centered relative to page. This time around, though, we're going to change the absolute position, right? And it's automatically defaulted to there, but we'll change it to 0.5 below the page. So 0.5 below the page, and then go ahead and press OK and see what it's done here. And with that still selected, let's go back to the Shape Format tab, and in the Shape Styles group, select Shape Fill, and we're looking for, let's see here, it's Blue Accent 5 Lighter 80. Would that be this right here? There we go. So go ahead and select this one right here. And we'll choose the same one for Shape Outline. So with it still selected, click on Shape Outline. And here we are again. Alright, Blue Accent 5 Lighter 80. So that's that. 4 points. We're just about done. On to step number 17, which has us deselect the text box. We'll add a page border to the document. So let's add a border, alright? So with that still selected, what we're going to do, and actually let me check and make sure, deselect the text box, right? So click off in there, and what we'll do, Home tab, Paragraph group, this is our Borders button. Click the drop down right there, and what we're going to do is go to Borders and Shading, click that button right there, click on Box. We'll keep that style right here, right? But we're going to change the color from automatic, and we'll go to Blue Accent 5. I believe that's the one. Let's make sure that that's the one that we are looking for. Second to last column, apply the first color. Perfect. And apply a page border. We did that. Box setting, first style. Yep. Second to last column, apply the first one. Mac users, it is a bit different. Alright, so let's go back to the file right here, and we're just about there. We're doing great. We need to change the top margin. So let's go to, we can go ahead and press OK because we've selected all of that. There's our border. We'll go to the paragraph, Home tab, Paragraph group. Click this button right here. Have a look around. Not in there. Now, you may have made the same mistake as me. What you want to do is do a page border. Notice I had just done it to this. So, let's go back, Home tab, let's go back to the borders, Control Z if you have to. Go to Borders and Shading, go over to the Page Border tab right here, then click on Box. Then you can change this last color to this blue right here, Accent 5, and it'll apply it to the whole document on the whole page to look just like this. So changing the margins, what we'll want to do is let's go to the Home tab, and actually that's the Layout tab. You go to the Page Setup box right here, and there's our margins. You're going to set the top to 1.25. Excellent. You can press OK. That moves that down just a little bit, just to make sure. We've done that. Top margin 1.25. File name in the footer. Awesome. So we'll go to the Insert tab. Over in the Header and Footer group, select Footer. and we'll go edit footer. Oh, there's all sorts of ways to do that. We're going to do the file name. We're going to insert the file name into this. I am going to show you the way, close header and footer. I'm going to show you the way to do it by the book so you don't lose any points. And so just to show you, what you're going to do is, and the footer shows up at the bottom of the document, by the way. So insert tab, go ahead and in the header and footer group, click on footer, click on edit footer, and up at the top it brings up the header and footer tab. In the insert group under document info, file name. This is one way to do it. Alright, so it'll insert the file name right there, and we can go ahead, you can double click in this area, Control S to save the document. We're now safe to go ahead and upload it and see how we did and get some feedback on our score. So we downloaded the materials, we worked on the assignment, we'll upload that to our computer, we'll go to downloads, that would be 1G Educational website, we've done it. That is the time, here's our file, we'll click upload, it says past due, let me know if you do turn it in late and I can override the score, just be sure to get it in. You have 3 attempts at this. Once it says success, you can submit it for grading. Excellent. If you wait just ever so long enough, it'll close that. Go back to course materials, that refreshes. What you do from here, if you don't have your score yet, Word 1G, these 3 dots right here, click it, it's the context menu, go to view submissions. Patience, as it's My Lab IT. And it looks like it was late. So bear with me a second because this is what it'll look like to you. And actually though, I was able to get it at 100%. It says I completed it after the due date. I must accept the activity before it's included in the grade, but you can indeed see your score as you scroll down and look at each of the steps. If you made any mistakes, you can drop down and see on which steps you did make mistakes, and you can resubmit this. I can show you how to do that in another video. In fact, I have them, so just ask if you want to know how to make improvements. You can also click here, that's the live comments report where the circle is. And what it'll do is if you made any mistakes, it gives you a Word document that has comments on it that'll tell you how to make improvements. And it's really handy to work independently because you get 3 submissions, right? And so if you get below a 90%, you can turn it in 2 more times to get the highest score. All right? And so that's why you look at a page like this right here that'll tell you on which step you made a mistake, or download again the live comments report as it goes into my little downloads tab here. So you can make improvements and improve your score. And I'm starting to get redundant. This has been a long video. It's been a fun project. Welcome to Microsoft Word. We'll get into chapters 2 and 3 next on up. So nice to work with you. I will throw the hat. We are done here. See ya.